Yes.
That's funny.
Yes. I remember watching that, Heather B.
Absolutely.
I was there. I wasn't there at the time, but I was there.
To watch it, yes.
I was in the era.
Yes.
That was Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah.
That was the Fat Boys.
Mm.
That was 1989.
Wow.
Crazy.
That was MTV. That was unheard of.
Facts.
Wow.
That did not happen. That was rare. That was special. It was special when you saw people like us on MTV or any TV.
Yeah.
When you went into a record store and then you saw an album that was made by people like us. Mm-hmm. And when I say us, I mean the young folks that was coming out of the community at that time, because other folks obviously had albums. But when I saw people like me who wore clothes that influenced me to wear clothes like them, because they obviously had access to wardrobe budgets back then, we didn't know about that.
That part.
We didn't know that. When they had the chains on, that some of them weren't real. We didn't know that. Oh, wasn't that the case? That was okay. It's okay.
He said his shit was a fiddle, Sway. He don't know what you talking about.
This shit was real.
They was wearing fake gold.
Okay, I was just trying to get some truth out of him real quick. Let's see if he's going to tell the truth about that when he didn't. All right.
Some of them were fake.
Some of them were fake, right? You know.
He said not his though.
Not yours? And it was around 1984, and I remember this. You know, when their first album came out, that I was like, you know, I was happy for them because they just looked like us. I remember when I first saw Crush grooving, you know, Crush grooving, body moving. Mm-hmm. And I saw these guys. They opened the doors for hip hop to be. It was already celebratory, but they opened the door and said it was okay to have fun,
Right.
to be funny. Still be fly, self-deprecating, you know, to be a unit, to be a collective. They made hip-hop fun.
Bruh.
It was, and I can't even explain what I mean by that.
Disorderlies. That's what you got to
When you
say.
talk
Like
about
they
the movie Disorderlies.
Yes.
Right? And, you know, at that time on the West Coast, it was a lot of NWA.
Right.
You know, and, you know, Public Enemy.
Well, they were starting to form.
That was starting to form.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They was HBO Homeboys only, something like that.
Yes. You remember? So we gonna do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to welcome him to the show and say, brother, you are truly loved, honored, and admired.
Oh, thanks, bro.
From the original group, the Fat Boys. Shout out.
Everybody stand up.
Everybody stand up.
Everybody
stand
stand up. Everybody
Shout out to
stand
Mark.
up.
Shout out to
you in the red shirt stand up.
Stand up. Shout out to Darren Robinson. Rest in peace to the human beatbox. Shout out to Mark Morales. Rest in peace to Prince Marky D. And who we have with us right now is the legendary one himself, Kool Rock-Ski. Big round of applause from the Fat Boys.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Everybody. If you're at home, stand up. If you're at work, stand up.
Stand up.
If you're at McDonald's, stand up.
Stand up. If you're at McDonald's. Man,
if you're at the UN, stand up. No, I'm just playing.
Stand up, man.
Absolutely.
You miss your brothers?
Yeah, very much. I think because we actually grew up together.
Oh,
so
okay.
with me and Mark, I was 8, Mark was 7. We met Buff like we were like 13, 12 years old. So Buff came around, we was in our preteen. So
was this the Disco 3 era?
Disco 3. We weren't even called Disco 3 as of yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have a name?
We didn't have a name. We had a name in junior high school.
Mm-hmm.
No, high school. We just called ourselves the Hypnotized 5.
The Hypnotize, was it 3? It was three of you though.
It was 1 DJ, 1 beatbox, 5 MCs. So we would have looked like New Birth. It was when the Fire on stage had we stayed together. It'd have been a lot of us. So,
yeah.
Some of the members didn't want to come to practice, so we just kept it as 3 of us.
Wow. And did the human beatbox Buff? Who was he inspired by?
I don't know because, a lot of people say Dougie Fresh. A lot of people say Buff. We're from Brooklyn. Dougie Fresh is from Harlem. So we didn't travel to Brooklyn. We didn't travel to Harlem.
Okay.
We were kids, so we didn't really leave the block. So we didn't know who Dougie Fresh was. So for people to say that Buff was inspired by Dougie Fresh, Buff didn't know who Dougie Fresh was. Somebody brought him to our attention one day because they knew Buff was beatboxing, and they said, "Yo, there's a guy named Dougie Fresh that does the same thing you do." So we kind of laughed at the name, go like, "Oh, what the hell is the name Dougie Fresh?" So we didn't know. Plus, we didn't go to places like T Connection, Harlem World, all those places.
Y'all were too young.
Too young, Fever, Disco Fever. So we didn't know too much. We knew about Cold Crush and, Fantastic, Romantic, and, Treacherous 3, all these cats. Because people had the tapes and, the tapes would be passed down to cats in Brooklyn. Brooklyn was kind of shut out when it came to, sorry about that, kind of shut out when it came down to hip hop.
What do you mean?
They didn't want to mess with Brooklyn.
What?
We were some rowdy cats. Brooklyn was rowdy.
So the labels, the industry didn't want to mess with.
I would say the hip hop scene itself didn't want to really mess with Brooklyn. It's like the Bronx and Manhattan. So we were doing our own rendition of what hip hop was, and we was keeping up with what they were doing. But a lot of the things that came out of hip hop came from the Bronx and Harlem. Once we came out, once Jimmy Spicer, if anybody have heard of Jimmy Spicer, may he rest in peace, Super Rhymes. He was really the first rap artist to come out of Brooklyn, East New York. We're from. So,
wow.
And we were the second. So, so Brooklyn always had this kind of stigma. You let Brooklyn in the house, it's gonna mess the party.
Is that where it came from? It came from
Brooklyn
you.
in the house. Tuck your chain. That's why they really used to ask that.
I like that.
Right.
Exactly.
Is Brooklyn in the house? Hide your shit.
Yeah,
Oh man, that just kind of blew me away. Who would have mixtape DJs out of Brooklyn at that time that were huge?
DJ Bobo, Vandy C, cats like that, and I think Grandmaster Flowers, if I'm not mistaken.
Flowers, yeah.
He's from Brooklyn, yeah. But we didn't have an array of Grandmaster Flashes and, Theodore and Grand Wizard Theodore. We didn't have those kind of cats. We just had local DJs who was in the parks DJing.
So we went from the original group was called the what 5?
Hypnotized 5.
Hypnotized 5.
Right.
People stopped coming to practice, so y'all narrowed it down to 3.
Narrowed it down to 3.
Okay. And that was the Disco 3.
Disco 3.
Who came up with that name?
Buff, because we were so naive. We didn't know there was a Disco 4. And probably we didn't care, but at the time, but he was like, "Yo, call ourselves the Disco 3." I'm like, "That's cool," because we're not making records. So if there's the Disco 4 who's making records, what the hell do they care if we're called Disco 3? We're not making records. So we called ourselves the Disco 3, and we just happened to win a rap contest under the name Disco 3.
The rap contest, was that the contest that was portrayed in Krush Groove?
Yeah.
And that was Charlie Stetler?
Charlie Stetler, our former manager.
Yeah. And that was called, what was it, the 10-Pen Apple?
10-Pen Apple Rap and Dance Contest.
So in that contest, so if you recall when Kango Kid came up here.
Yeah. They were in that contest.
UTFO.
Yeah.
Rich Nice.
Who's Rich Nice?
Rich Nice. He was first rapper signed to Motown. Was in that contest.
Was he the one with the derbies and the videos?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not being disrespectful.
No, that's Rich Nice.
That's
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, if you saw him, you would know him.
Yeah.
So who did y'all compete against? That was UTFO. Who else was in it?
Altogether, there were over 700 rappers and 700 rap groups. Solo and groups. So it's like over 700 rappers.
Give me the mindset back then. What was that? What did y'all hope to? Like, it's 700 rappers. It's not a lot of opportunity in the rap game.
Right.
Which folks don't understand that part. Like, because now you could put your own music out, stream it. You could become your own DJ and do your own YouTube channel. You good money.
Right.
Back then, how many outlets were there?
None, really. I mean, you had Curtis Blow, Flash and the Furious 5. You had Treacherous 3, Fearless 4, Lovebug Starsky, may he rest in peace. Sweet G.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, singing games people play with Jerry Curls dripping down his, So you had you didn't have a lot of rappers. You had Super Rhymes, of course. You had Sugar Hill Gang. You had
Sequence.
Crash Crew,
Yeah,
Sequence.
all these guys, yeah.
But you can pretty much count on 2 hands how many rappers and rap groups were out at that time.
So how old were y'all at this time? Like 15 or something?
15.
Wow.
I was going on 16 that particular time we won the contest.
Uh-huh.
Buff had just turned 15 and Mark was 14.
What did the future look like to you then? Did you think I'm going to win this contest and then what would happen?
We didn't know. We wanted the DJ equipment.
That's
what
it.
we wanted. That's it. We didn't know what a record contract could actually do for us. So we, you're 16 years old. You don't care about no record contract. You don't know anything about the music industry at all. So we're going to the contest with the anticipation of winning the DJ equipment, which was the second place prize. And when we won the actual first place prize, it was like, we don't want that. We want the DJ equipment.
And that's the scene from Crush Groove, right? When y'all trying to fight.
Right.
Who was y'all was fighting for the DJ competition?
That was the kid Chad Elliott.
Yeah, Chad Elliott. Yeah. And y'all was trying to fight him for. Yeah. And that was based on a true story.
Yeah, because we were we wanted the DJ equipment. We also won the first place prize was a recording contract.
Okay.
And we also won Atari games.
Yes. Atari 2600.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so we won some Atari games, and we went to Radio Shack to pick up our games the next day. So
y'all boy, they were dreaming so small back then.
Oh yeah, we had no
one of those techniques.
We had no kind of aspirations of being rap stars. It was just being local. In the so-called hood rap stars. You know what I mean? So our thing was just to rock parties, rock basement parties, rock block parties, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We had no idea what a record contract could do for us. We thought that was for professionals. But little did you know, once you sign a record contract, you are a professional.
You become a professional.
Right.
Do you remember the contract you signed, that first one?
Pretty much no, but I have no idea.
Did you read it?
Not at all.
Right.
Did you have an attorney?
We had an in-house attorney.
Yeah, because it sounds like what he's saying is that the same person who gave him the record contract was his manager as well. So how could that even be?
No, he wasn't our manager at the time. And later on down the road, people actually thought we were set up to win the contest because he became our manager.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I would have thought just by you telling this story.
Yeah. Well, he put together the contest with Sal Abatello, who owned the Disco Fever, and he in conjunction with WBLS and Radio City, which was crazy back then because Radio City was sold out for a rap contest.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just goes to show you the kind of mind and promotional abilities that he had to do something like that. He was like Ringling Brothers, on crack.
Charlie Stetler.
Yeah, he was over the top. He was kind of like the Caucasian version of Don King, kind of. He was real. Yeah, he was very in your face and I got the Fat Boys and you better play them. You're selling, that kind of stuff. So he was real animated as far as a manager, but he was a really good manager, really good promoter.
Ski, Charlie Stetler hits me to this day promoting.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He does not stop. Yeah. He owned the label,
right?
10 Pen Apple when this happened, right? And then, so let's talk about him because was it his idea to make you the Fat Boys?
Yeah, it was his idea. He said he couldn't market the word disco, and he was telling us there was a Disco 4,
right?
Who was I think they were on the verge of suing us for using the Disco 3 name. So. But like Buff would always say, it's 3 of us and 4 of them. How can they want to sue us? But like once again, this is where the naive part comes in. So
Buff didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, he had no idea. He had no idea the millions of dollars that would have went out the window.
Buff was like, why was 3 of us?
Yeah, it's 3 of us.
Still disco Buff.
Right, exactly.
Right? So Charlie, how did he convince y'all to become called the Fat Boys? Because to be called fat back then was not something everybody or anybody wanted to be called.
Well, I mean, the first song was a hit. The first song that Curtis Blow produced was a hit called Fat Boys.
Fat Boys.
Right.
Oh,
and
wow.
he had a name-changing party. He did a whole name-changing campaign from Disco 3 to Fat Boys.
Wow.
And at the Roseland Ballroom in 1984, we changed our name from Disco 3 to Fat Boys. I mean, we fought against it.
No, that's Fat Boys Are Back.
Yeah, that's Fat Boys Are Back. That's our second album.
Yeah, that's the second album. Yeah,
right.
Look for Fat Boys. That was the joint. That's what me, T. Cal, and Chuck, my cousin, used to sing. Fat Boys.
You was fat, Sway?
I wanted to be.
After a while, right?
After a while. Yo, this is so interesting.
It
is.
is.
Charlie Stetler played a major role in y'all careers.
Yeah, I mean, I think with any manager or record label or, anything you want to put as far as guidance over an artist, it's a 50-50 thing because he can't work without the talent. You know what I mean? So you got to have the talent to sell it. So it's a 50-50 thing as far as him being manager and us being the artist.
He also deceived the public a lot in promoting y'all, right? Because I read a story that he said you guys were performing on something that you weren't really performing on.
We were on the Michael Jackson tour, the Victory tour.
I'm dying.
And we were on the Madonna tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
But y'all wasn't really on the tour.
No, as a matter of fact, the Beastie Boys had a documentary where they talked about that. And they did, I think they did want us on the tour, but they wasn't paying enough money. It was like $1,500 a night, something like that, Madonna tour. But can you imagine 3 rappers, a rap group, and Madonna's the biggest thing on the planet back then?
This is like a Virgin Day.
Yeah,
all that.
and you got teenage girls dressed in white dresses, and you're looking at 3 black guys rapping, and it wouldn't have went over well.
But y'all would have cleaned up after the show.
We would have cleaned up, yeah.
Yeah, man. Wow, that's crazy. So was Fresh Fest the first big tour you went on?
Yeah, it was the first of its kind.
Yeah.
The first hip-hop tour, period. And the Fresh Festival just consisted of us, Run DMC, Houdini, Curtis Blow, Nucleus, who made the song Jam On It.
Jam On It, yep.
And an array of breakdancers. Matter of fact, Jermaine Dupri, he was on that particular tour as one of the dancers. His father was one of the promoters, Mike Malden. Right, exactly. And Russell Simmons, Charlie Stetler, Mike Malden, and Ricky Walker put together the Fresh Festival.
What's crazy to me, what you're saying, though, so, like, y'all being so young, like you mentioned Jermaine, obviously he was even younger, but his dad was out there. Where were your parents? Like, what did your parents say to all of this? Y'all were just out signing contracts, nobody reading stuff. Like, what were your parents in all of this?
I think everything was like a fish out of water.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the show Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Beverly Hillbillies?
Of course.
Yeah.
So that's what our parents were like. They didn't know nothing about nothing, so... they didn't know what the hell rap was. My father would explain it as that boogity boogity music. He didn't know what the hell
boogity.
he didn't know what rap was. He would see raps in my notebook, and I was supposed to be doing my homework. What's this long paragraph bullshit? So, he didn't know what it was. So my mother didn't catch on to rap until The Message. She liked Melly Mel. She thought Melly Mel sounded like a preacher. And she fell in love with rap after that. But they had no idea what rap music was. And so for them to sign anything, they would sign anything. They didn't know anything about the music industry.
Wow, man. We got Kool RockSki from the Fat Boys here. Big round of applause when I say this man's name. I'm reliving my childhood right now, man. So how did you meet to people who don't realize the significance of a Curtis Blow?
Right.
If someone asks you, who is Curtis Blow and what does he mean to culture, what would you say?
Curtis Blow is the godfather, the king of rap. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that because he worked closely with us on our first 2 albums, but Curtis Blow is the first solo superstar rapper. LL came after, but Curtis Blow is the first. He's the first one to sign a big major deal with a record company. Signed to a major record company.
How did people react to him? Like if you see Drake walk out in today's art, in today's world, it's gonna be pandemonium. People gonna go crazy. What was it like for Curtis Blow back then?
It was crazy because when we were on tour on the Fresh Festival. And Run DMC is like, they're Rock Box, and they didn't have Walk This Way out yet, but they're Rock Box, they're King of Rock and Sucker MCs. And, they're hot as fish grease at this particular time. But Curtis Blow is still, even though he wasn't closing the show, he's still the marquee individual out of all of us because everybody knows him. Everybody knows him already. Everybody's catching on to Run DMC. They're catching on to Houdini. They're catching on to us. Everybody already knows Curtis Blow. So he has a lot of, dare I say, groupies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cats just coming backstage wanting to meet him.
Right.
So Curtis Blow is that dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's that dude.
Did y'all have did the Fat Boys have groupies?
I didn't have groupies. I had Buff and Mark were the groupie kings.
Is that a sad memory for you?
Yeah, I wasn't getting all sentimental.
Yeah, he was like,
They didn't like me.
Sway, why did you ask that?
The groupie kings.
But the groupie kings. The Fresh Fest was the first hip hop tour of its kind ever, right? You know, and I'm just curious. So, what was it like though backstage?
Oh man, it was fun. It was fun because after every show, mind you, Curtis Blow is at an age where he's not really dealing with Run DMC and Fat Boys and Houdini.
Y'all too young.
We're too young. So we're in Run's room every night after the show and going over the show. Who was the best?
Right.
Yo, because Run was very egotistical.
Uh-huh.
So he's standing in the middle of the floor saying, yo, how did my set look? How did I look, Kool Rock? I don't know. I wasn't, checking you out. But that's what he was about. So we would go in their rooms, and DMC would fill the whole tub up with 40s. But, yeah, he was like the 40 OE king. Him and Buff would guzzle that stuff like there's no tomorrow. And we would just stay in the room till like 3 o'clock in the morning, just be kicking it, having fun,
Really, what about Houdini? Like, I feel like Houdini has never gotten its proper acknowledgement for what their contribution to culture.
Oh man, Houdini was you listen to their songs now.
Yeah.
They transpired over to the 2022 era because songs like Friends and Freaks Come Out at Night.
Yeah.
I mean, these are timeless classics, you know what I mean? So Houdini wasn't Run DMC, they weren't Fat Boys because they weren't marketed like that. They were more marketed like a Heavy D, like they can get on any kind of tour. You know what I'm saying? You can't put Run DMC on a Midnight Star when they were popular kind of tour. But you could put Houdini on there.
Yeah,
you know what
wow.
I mean? Yeah. So
I didn't think about it that way, but when you mentioned like Sway saying not giving a person the proper flowers before you got here, I was talking about rest in power, Prince Marky D. I feel like he's probably one of the most under-acknowledged songwriters and producers ever. When you guys starting out and being friends from so young, did you like witness his songwriting process a lot? Because when people find out the same dude from the Fat Boys was writing for Mary J. Blige, writing this, producing that, you saw it early though, right? Were you there early?
No, actually. No. I think with Mark, it was more like a thing where he wanted to stay in the studio more. And work with Curtis Blow. And even Buff wanted to stay in the studio more. I wasn't really a studio rat like that. I was more like into just, doing the session and getting the hell out of there. But they wanted to stay behind and learn about the board and learn about how to put the songs together, that kind of stuff. So I seen it then. I didn't see it when we were growing up, though. Yeah, I seen it then.
You saw him like just wanting to having that
wanting
bug to learn it.
Yeah, exactly. He was soaking it up like a sponge. So he was and let me just add this. If Buff were alive, Buff would probably be at least top 10 producer.
Really?
Without a doubt. I mean, he was getting crazy with his production.
Who did he work with?
He worked with Cameo. He was working.
Cameo?
Yeah, he worked with Cameo. He did a song called Slide. It was a remake.
Yeah.
He did a remake with them.
Wow.
But his production was just getting better and better because Buff is musically inclined to begin with. He's beatboxing all the time, and he would definitely been at least like top 10 producer. Right
Damn,
now.
Buff,
That's
the
crazy.
human
Rest in
beatbox,
power,
rest in
man.
power,
Yeah.
man.
Interesting.
Do you think the whole concept of being the Fat Boys, how did that hurt y'all when it came to health? Do you think that led to Buff's demise?
No. Buff was. You see, the thing is that you can be overweight and you can be healthy as a horse, or you can be 180 pounds, 4% body fat, and still have a heart attack. So it doesn't really matter. Buff had a heart attack not because he was fat. Buff was fighting the flu, and his body just couldn't withhold the flu. I mean, I caught the flu really bad, but my body sustained it. So different people can fight the flu in different kind of ways. But he just couldn't fight it off. So he was doing some production for the reunion album when he passed away. And I saw him the day before that.
Damn.
You saw him the day before he passed?
Yeah, I saw him on a Friday. He passed away Saturday. So, and you just get that feeling something is not right.
You felt it that Friday?
I felt that when I left his house, I was going back home.
Yeah.
And I'm in my car, and it just, something just comes over you. You're like, and you can feel something, but you don't know what it is. Like something's creeping up. It's not like somebody's out to get you, but you can feel something's about to happen. So when I got the call from Mark at like 1:30 in the morning, I thought they were just at the studio just messing around, and so he kept calling. I didn't answer the phone. I was like, I ain't got time for that. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I'm not about to go to the studio this late and just mess around. But then when I finally picked up his phone, he was like, yo, Boff is at the house. He's not breathing. So then I jumped in my car, and and the rest was just him just being, in the situation he was in. But it wasn't his weight, you know what I mean? It wasn't that. It was he was like really, he had the flu really, really bad, you know what I mean? So he just couldn't shake it off,
Wow, man. Rest in power to Buff, man. What about Mark? How did you find out when Mark passed?
I had my phone off. And when I turned my phone back on, maybe like 6 o'clock in the morning, because sometimes, you just send your phone, you don't want to be bothered. And I'm getting all these freaking text messages. Like, my phone is just buzzing like, I'm like, what the hell? So somebody that knew us pretty well, my man Keith, he said, yo, Mark passed away. So I'm looking at the text message. I'm like, Mark. I'm not thinking Mark.
Mark indeed, yeah.
I'm not thinking Mark. So I said, hold on a minute. So I called his phone, and it went straight to voicemail. Called it again, went straight to voicemail. Then I text him. I'm like, yo, what's up? You good? No, I'm not good. You know what I'm saying? Mark and Buff knows I joke around a lot, but I'm just saying what Mark, I would have said if Mark was here. Yo, I'm not good. I'm not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it hit me. I was like, hold up. Then, I did the modern day thing that people do now. I went on Google.
Oh, wow.
And that's when it
That's how you found out Prince Markie D passed.
Yeah. That's how I
What
found
made
out.
you turn your phone off the night before?
I don't know. It's just the usually sometimes I do it. Like maybe I would say twice a week. I just turn it off. Cause I be getting a lot of phone calls sometimes, a lot of text messages, a lot of people inboxing, a lot of people DMing and saying, "Hey, what's up?" This and that. And I'm a cool guy. I'm not one of those quote unquote kind of artists that don't answer back to people. Somebody say, "Yo, what's up? Yo, what's good? Yo, I'm a huge fan of this and that. Oh, thanks a lot." Some people like to just get the hell away from me kind of thing, and I won't be bothered. But this particular day, this particular evening, I just turned the phone off. And like I said, when I cut it back on, I just had so many text messages and and missed calls. All these missed calls just coming in. Yeah.
What did you? I couldn't imagine what that must be like. But these are your lifelong friends, right? These are the guys you became famous with, and then now neither one of them are still with us. Did you have to go? Did you do any therapy? Did you do any help? Like, how did you cope with it?
No, listen. You get used to death. I mean, I'm not saying that to be saying like it's a good thing. Some people love to live. Some people know to live is to die. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my thing is, lost my mother and father back to back. Lost, so you lose so many people. It's like, it's kind of like, it's an out of body experience. At the same time, it's like, what can you do? You can't stop it. Nobody been able to stop death. He's undefeated. If it's a he or she, I don't know, but it's undefeated. So you can't stop death. It's inevitable that. And I don't want to be a downer on people.
No, this is life. It's just a circle of life.
Yeah, it's inevitable that we all going to leave at some point. We don't know how we're going to leave
or when.
It could be in a split second. We don't know. So if we knew, we would try to do the best we can to do whatever we have to do to stay alive. You know what I mean? So, but we don't know.
Did it make you want to stop rapping after that? Did you say, hey,
right.
Then I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a rap?
No, because I wasn't really into rap like that no more anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, rap was like, rap just got so redundant. Everything was just and I just think a lot of people are not really listening anymore. You know, to rap music. So it wasn't a thing to pull back from rap music because it's like, you know, you've been there, done that. And if you reach a certain pinnacle in success, you say to yourself, okay, I conquered that. Let me move on.
And go for something new.
But the thing is, I just got tired of it. You know, just tired of, I love the greats like Rakim and Kool Rap and all these cats. But, you know, after a while, you just get so much of the same old crap. How many times can you kill somebody? How many times can you, you know, have sex with the same woman? You know, it's just like,
or your homie's woman,
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
so it just gets so redundant. It's like, and it's so watered down now because nobody wants to hear a song anymore. You know,
you obviously ain't listening to Kendrick new album.
I was about to say.
No, I like Kendrick.
Okay.
No, I mean artists like that, and you know, and J. Cole and these cats like that is what keeps you listening to rap music. But the overall, it's like everybody wants to sound like the next person, and it just gets to the point where you're like, okay, well, I heard this song and this guy sounds like this guy, you know. So it's just I don't really listen to it like that no more anyway.
So what do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of opera.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm just playing.
Okay, damn, come on, Rock. I'm like, what are you talking? You look word? I was like very impressed, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Damn. Let me ask you this. You said when you reach your pinnacle, Tracy, why don't you move over there for me? And when you reach your pinnacle, you know, you start looking for new goals. So what would you consider the pinnacle of the Fat Boys' career? Was it Disorderlies? Was it when Wipeout came out? What was the pinnacle?
The pinnacle was the Crushing album.
The Crushing album.
That sold over 1 million copies. And let me just add that selling 1 million copies at that time is huge.
Yeah.
So you had Run DMC, you had LL Cool J, you had Houdini, and Fat Boys. That was the only 4 groups that ever went platinum at that time.
What about Beastie Boys though?
Beastie Boys came along like in '88.
Okay.
Yeah. And they sold like 5 million.
Were y'all outselling Run or L or
We
Houdini?
outsold. Put it like this: this is what Jalil told me from Houdini. We were the first rap group to go gold, and Run DMC was like 2 months later. So we were the first rap. I had no idea until he told me this, but
wow.
Fat Boys was the first rap group to go gold.
Yeah, rap group
to go gold.
That's tremendous.
And Jalil from Houdini would know.
Right. Because Sugar Hill Gang they sold a lot, but that was a single. That wasn't an album, you know.
And y'all had the first album to go gold.
First album.
When y'all were doing Disorderlies and then Crushing, that's when Wipeout was on the Crushing.
Right.
Yeah, I was on the Crushing album.
Yeah.
Now, for hip hop heads, we were like, yo, how far are they going to go, man? Like with the comedy, and then it's just getting clownish now. Like, and then when you sample Louie and these kind of and do songs with the Beach Boys, at that time, that was considered sellout, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it like the Louie and the Twist, I would look at it like it got really idiotic for me. Okay. It got really idiotic.
Damn, I wasn't expecting
Keep it
that.
a buck.
Yeah.
Okay, it got idiotic.
Because it's and I respect Chubby Checker. He's a musical icon, but I don't want to do a song with Chubby Checker. I didn't want to do a song with the Beach Boys, but at that time
Who made y'all do it?
Well, I mean, who else? Charlie Stetler. But the thing is, Run DMC just did Walk This Way. Okay. And it was successful with that. And
with Aerosmith.
Uh-huh. At that time, everybody's goal was to get on MTV. BET was going to play you regardless. Yeah. Because you're a black artist. But everybody's goal was to get on MTV. So our manager's goal was and mind you, we met Beach Boys on the set of Disorderlies.
Disorderlies, yep.
Yeah. We met them on the set of Disorderlies. And he thought it'd be a good idea to do a song with them. Never knew of a song from the Beach Boys. I didn't even know who the hell they were. You know,
Big Girls Don't Cry, all that. Doesn't that Beach Boys? Big.
That's
my musical knowledge.
Yeah, I just thought they were a bunch of guys who, was on surfboards all day. I had no idea who the hell they were.
If I played you some Beach Boys songs, you would know You would know you would know him as
Right,
a
I'm
jingle.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I knew after a while.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, the thing is, the song was highly successful, and if it wouldn't, like, me and Mark would always say, if we would have stopped at Wipeout, we was good.
Y'all were good.
We was good. It wasn't. Here's the thing that
Wipeout, y'all got away with.
we got away with that because it had like the Miami-based kind of sound.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much say
Play Wipeout if you can find that.
you don't have to play it.
I want to go back on this for a second.
How about different generations are tuned in right now, Ski.
Hold on. Let's just get so we can give people an idea.
For the
what
context.
For the context of it. But go keep talking. So Wipeout. Y'all felt like if y'all had stopped at Wipeout.
Right. Is that Whiteout?
Whiteout. Well, kind of what
It
happened.
was, yeah.
It was
If y'all had stopped at
right?
Whiteout. You could have still been good. Because after that, it was a decline for the Fat Boys, right?
It was a decline as far as
Credibility with the culture.
Right.
But it was as far as the mainstream and commercial
it was,
success.
Yeah,
Oh.
the doors were the red carpets was getting laid out. You know, the flowers, the rose petals were coming our way. The money was coming our way.
The money was coming your way?
Oh, yeah, we was like the highest paid rap group at that time. So we were getting like $55,000 a show. Now you times that to 2022, it's probably damn near $250,000, $300,000.
So with your financial situation, do you feel like y'all were treated fairly? Like if you got 55 a show, how did that divide? It didn't go three ways, obviously.
Well, put it like this, 55 a show for a 2-month tour.
Okay.
Doing 5 shows a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's about a little over, about $275 a week.
Yeah, we getting paid. We getting money.
But commissions, management,
Yeah,
tour management,
tours, all this kind of
all
stuff.
that stuff.
So by the time you get home off tour, you probably got like maybe $150, $180 in your
Wow.
pocket.
And were you
know?
thinking about investing back then? Like how
No.
to be smart with
No.
yeah.
Right.
What was your money going towards when it comes to like enjoying your wealth?
I gotta be 100% honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. I don't know to this day how much money I actually made.
Wow.
Yeah, because you're dumb to anything and everything. All you want to do is have fun.
Because
You know
how
what
much
I'm
were
saying?
you at that time when you was getting the 55 a show?
We were like, well, I'm the oldest, so we were like 20.
Damn.
Might as well still be 15.
What y'all doing with y'all lives over here? Everybody be honest. 20 and 55 a show. Did
Yeah.
you do taxes? How did you not know what you made yearly? Did y'all?
We had accountants. We
Mhm.
had we paid taxes, but then down the road, tax man's come knocking.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? You know what I'm saying? So, man, listen, it's like this. In any field of work that you do, whether it be entertainment or working on a construction job, you're never going to get what you're worth. You know what I mean? So that's just the bottom line. It's like whatever money you're getting, you best believe somebody else is getting double or triple or quadruple. You know what I
Somebody's
mean?
profiting off of it.
Somebody's profiting off of it. So, and when you're young and naive, and people always say, "Well, that has nothing to do with it." It has a lot to do with it because you don't know anything about anything. So, when you're young and naive, it's easy to pull the wool over someone's eyes.
Especially back then.
Especially back then. I mean, even now, you understand what I'm saying? Even now, I think now it's like more people are in the artist business.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on social media, and somebody could call out a manager. They could call out a record label. Back then, they couldn't do that. They had no idea what was going on.
The artist didn't.
The artist didn't. Even the fans now are calling out record labels. Yo, boycott such and such. They're not paying this rapper. So,
Look at Meg Thee Stallion.
right, right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's different now. But the thing is, being an artist in the music industry does not actually mean you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways you're paying for popularity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, my thing is just to align myself with people and try to give them the best advice I can.
Okay.
So I aligned myself with a group by the name of Certified Nation Entertainment.
Okay.
They're young. They ambitious. They want to do some positive things in this hip hop culture. So I lined myself up with them because they're not rapping about the same old. You know, these guys are good lyricists. You know, City the Great.
City the Great, he's in the building right now. Good up for City the Great.
City the Great.
Special ads artist.
Yeah, dope. Stand up.
Come on, get in the camera,
Stand
man.
up.
Let them see you, bro. I'm about
Everybody
to play your song. You don't hear this lead up?
And so City the Great is the head CEO of the Certified Nation. And the reason why I'm saying this and bringing him into this because he wasn't my age when he came out.
Yeah.
He wasn't like 15, 16 years old. But everybody deserves a chance to reach their goals or to see their dreams come true. And if somebody can just come out, if an older, if somebody who's been through it before,
yes,
can come out and say, hey, I can guide you here, I can work with you, you know, I can open a few doors if I can, why not do it? And that's the thing we have. What's wrong in hip hop is that a lot of the elder statesmen are not helping, or even the guys who got guys on the back burner, because you still want to shine, you still want to be that dude. You know what I'm saying? If your time is come and gone, pass the torch, pass the baton to the next brother behind you. So if you got talent right behind you, if you got a rapper behind you, but you still like, nah, it ain't your turn yet. You know, I'm still eating. You ain't selling no more, so you're not eating anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give it to the next guy behind you. Because that's money in your pocket anyway.
So, and rappers could be like boxers sometimes that never want to leave the ring.
Never
right?
want to leave the ring.
Right? Yeah, but then the flip side of that, juxtapose to the artist, the younger artist,
Right.
when receiving the elder artist.
Right.
What would you advise them? Because it's this, you know, this division that still exists in our culture where young versus old versus young.
Right.
You're over that.
Right.
You
right.
probably never had that. You came in as a young artist, right?
Right.
What would you say to those younger artists that kind of, you know, subscribe to that division mentality?
What I say to that is that not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Like, you got a lot of us out there who want to just guide you to where you have to go. I'm not going to be your manager because I don't know anything about management. That's the one thing that people understand when you come to a person who's been there already. Can you be my manager? This person can't manage their way. They can't manage themselves out of a paper bag, but they can guide you in different situations. So I don't want to be your manager, but I will tell you different things, give you little gems here and there.
Mentor.
Yeah, mentor you. Exactly, that's the word I'm looking for. And just let you know that, you know, this whole thing is not all about just making a song and sitting back and, you know, hoping it'll work. You got to get out there and promote it. Just the way we did back in the day. It's no different. You got to promote this. You got to be on your grind with this stuff, you know. It's a process to this. So when somebody, I always tell City the Great this, when somebody is on the outside looking in, right? And they're looking at a rapper and they're saying, man, that's corny. Like, that's ABC kind of stuff. It may sound corny to you, but I guarantee you can't go in the studio and do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I know what it takes to put a song together. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're on the outside looking in and you listen to a rapper that you admire, and then the rapper you're seeing on screen, you're saying, oh, he's corny, he can't rap. Oh, no, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And you have to understand when people say, well, how did this guy come out? He has an engine behind him. He has money behind him.
Yeah.
Right.
There's money behind these people. They just don't wake up one morning and put a song out. There's a team of people around them that put this stuff together.
Because you could maybe out-rap them, but maybe you can't out-market them.
You can't outmark, exactly. Because you don't have the one common thing is the money.
The money.
You don't have it.
So y'all wrote all your rhymes as Fat Boys, right?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them?
Yeah.
Was it important to you to be seen as a lyrical MC or just make songs that people liked?
They weren't going to let us be lyrical at all.
The label.
Yeah, they weren't going to get into that whole lyrical stuff. And, you know, even though we started brushing up on our craft and getting better, it was still the same old thing. We need a top 40 song. And, you know, deadly rhymes. Here's the solution. Smoke is so bad, I'm gonna call it pollution. That's not gonna.
That's
make
Kool
top
G
40.
rap.
Yeah, that's not gonna make top 40.
They
need
just called it
top
Kool G
40.
rap. I know y'all didn't know that, but
Right,
they
they
didn't
didn't
know
know
that. It was like, what is he doing? They thought he was spitting fire right now. Like, yo, cool.
So then, Ski, like, how soon after y'all won the competition and got that label deal did you realize, oh shoot, we in some shit?
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny because we still didn't realize it until we had our first hit song.
Mm-hmm.
So
what was the first hit for y'all?
First hit was Fat Boys. Set the B side back then. They had B sides.
Yeah.
Was Put It Up, Stick 'Em. And
I got Stick 'Em. But here's Fat Boy. Let me let this play one.
Larry Smith did some work on our album too. He played bass line on Can You Feel It?
And Larry worked with Run DMC too.
And Houdini. Yeah.
And Houdini.
Yeah. The great Larry Smith.
Is that
May he
Larry
rest in
put
peace.
me inside the
Oh, yeah.
Cadillac?
Oh, yeah.
The chauffeur drove
Yeah.
forth and never came
The
back.
first super producer, Larry Smith.
Was Larry Smith. The first super producer in hip hop was
Yeah.
Larry Smith. Do
Nice.
the research.
Larry Smith.
May he rest in peace.
Okay, I'm going to play City the Great song because we got to let the next show come on. But before we do this, man, and I would love to have you up anytime. Anytime, because bro, we would have went to school together, you know. So shit, we was the Fat Boys, Run DMC, Houdini, everybody in Oakland.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you how many people you guys influence and impact when you go to places like the Bay Area?
Oh man, we first did our show in Oakland.
Yeah.
It was like it was so chaotic.
Was it at the Coliseum?
It was at the Coliseum.
You know how I know this?
You was there?
He
That was
was
my
there.
first show concert I ever went
You
to.
remember that
First
show?
Yes, bro.
Do you remember that
That's why
show?
you here, bro. You my motherfucking hero.
Oh, damn. Oh, we can curse?
Yeah, baby. Welcome to Satellite Radio.
Who else was on that bill? It was
That's the first festival.
yeah.
Run DMC,
Houdini,
Curtis Blow, Nucleus.
Jam on it.
Jam
I
on it.
remember that.
Yeah.
Doonch.
And Jam on It was huge in West Coast. They absolutely love that song out there.
Bro, that was my first ever concert, and y'all was so much fun. Houdini was the shit to me.
Oh man, yeah.
Houdini got a lot of burn in the Bay Area because the music they made
Right.
worked for our car systems.
Right. Right.
Friends,
Right.
Big Mouth,
Yeah.
One Love, all those songs.
Yeah.
You lucky just to have just one
Oh
love.
man, yeah. They were way ahead of their time, and they just made classic, timeless music. You know. And my thing is, with Houdini, Fat Boys, and Run DMC, it was a competition every night.
Every night.
Run DMC rocked California one night, and they couldn't be touched. Like, they just shut it down. Houdini rocked Baltimore one night, and they just shut it down. We rocked Detroit, and Detroit, so like the balcony was about to collapse. Mind you, we only had two songs. We had Put Up, Stick 'Em and Fat Boys, and we was like the Run DMC was the closing act. We was like right before Run DMC, but yeah, it was a fun time. Let me shout out my man Cocaine.
Cocaine, that's right, Cocaine.
I did a song with him called Hush.
So when you said did the song, you produced these songs? Or are you on it?
No, we did a song together.
Okay.
Yeah. Song is dope.
Okay.
And he reached out to me, and mind you, I wasn't even thinking about doing any more
Wait,
music.
what cocaine is this?
This is the West Coast legend
Cocaine? Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought somebody just bit another legend's name.
Oh, no.
This is cocaine.
This is
cocaine.
West Coast legend.
That's family.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Cole 187, shout out to him.
Uh-huh.
But me and Cocaine collaborated on the Hush song. It is out of control. Everybody loves that song. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. This is real hip hop, so fuck what you heard. And that's my boy, man. That's my dude.
I'll play his song too. All right. I could play one right now. And since City the Great is here, I don't want to be sad if I don't play the song, man. You know, it's all up in the
City
studio.
is dope. City, as far as lyrical, as far as lyric wise, City is like, you know, I put him in a cage with anybody, you know.
Well, come back and do one of our ciphers.
Definitely.
All right, and bring Ed with you.
I got a message for you from Ed. He just texted me.
Special Ed? What did he say?
He said to tell you break yourself.
Get yourself, fool.
And send him a hat.
And
Okay,
send him a
tell him I got him.
Yeah, he just texted.
Yeah, he been looking real slick out there too with his afro or whatever he been doing.
Yeah. I was just with him on his 50th.
Yes.
I performed.
I saw that.
How to perform.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw he posted it too, man. Yeah, man. Special ed, 50 years old, man. Man, ain't God great?
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
Yeah, he was one of the youngest rap pop
Yeah,
stars ever,
yeah.
you know. So come on, man, ain't that something?
Wow.
Yo, Kool Rock-Ski, man, give this man a round of applause, brother.
Stand up, stand up,
Stand up,
stand
stand
up.
up.
Stand your asses up.
Y'all follow him at the legendary Kool Rock-Ski. Thank you, family.
Shout out to Samantha Lavelle doing big things with Certified Nation Entertainment. Shout out Pen Game Classic. Shout out It's Only Right. Shout out my man Law. Shout out to LD for life. Yeah, man, this is life, and we're living it, and we're having fun. You know, it's all good. So we living life day by day. Shout out to the whole hip hop nation, young
Absolutely.
and old.
Young and old. What,
Yeah.
what in your words? What do you feel the Fat Boy's legacy is?
Fat Boy's legacy is the first 2 albums
Uh-huh.
that pretty much put rap music on the map as far as marketing.
Yes.
Run DMC, Fat Boys, LL Cool J, was the they knew how to market us. So when you had groups that came before us, the only reason why they weren't successful as Fat Boys, Run DMC, and LL and Houdini, because they weren't marketed the same way. There wasn't that much money behind it. But once we came out, the money was behind us. So the Fat Boys legacy is one of the first 2 albums was just classics. You know,
And the first rap group to ever go gold.
first
have
rap
a
group
gold
to go
album.
gold. Yeah,
Have a gold album.
yeah.
And you brought a lighter side to the culture.
Yeah.
And taught us how to have fun.
Yeah.
How to laugh, enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
And still win.
I think that the tree of Run DMC falls upon whatever hardcores came out.
Yes.
The tree of the Fat Boys came with the funny side that came out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's dope. It was dope being in the group because we grew up together
Yes.
as brothers anyway. So it wasn't hard for us to have that chemistry. You know, we weren't picked. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Queens. He's from the Bronx. We all lived in the same block, East New York, Brooklyn. And let me just add too, the biopic is being written, and the documentary is being put together.
Nice.
Man. if you
Yeah,
need-
all I need is some money.
yeah. That too. All right. If you need a narrator, let me know.
Oh, I got you. Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. And I won't charge you. I just do it on love.
Okay.
All right.
I can get you a McDonald's gift card.
If you own if you own the project, I'll
Right.
do it on love. But if you go out and
Right.
get a bunch of money,
Hello.
break yourself. All right, Kool Rock-Ski, man. I love you, brother.
Oh,
Appreciate
thanks for
you,
having me,
man.
bro.
Absolutely,
Stand
man.
up. Everybody stand up. Stand your asses up.
Rest in peace to the human beatbox and Prince Marky D. You are in here too. All right, City the Great. You got a song called Realigned.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna play that. What can you tell us about it?
It's about bridging the gap, man. I wanted to do something to dedicate to the veterans. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I named it Realigned. We had to realign the culture.
Nice.
Let me say this to you. I respect you as a person, as an individual, and any artists who come into this culture and respect the pioneers and those that came before you, it's no different than honoring your parents or your uncles or your aunties. So I appreciate you as a young man in this culture recognizing the importance of him and all other pioneers that came before you, because if it wasn't for them,
Wouldn't be no us.
come on, man. Here's your song right now, Realigned by City the Great. And on that note, we have nothing left to say.